to another episode of ATV360. I'm Crystal Russell.
And I'm Brandon Berman.
And here are top stories today. As you all may know from your Albany email updates, Connor Trapatzos, a 17-year-old freshman at the College of St. Rose, was reported missing last Friday, October 17th. He was last seen on Wednesday walking out of his alumni quad room and onto State Street. Police reports say that Connor left behind his keys, cell phone, and his wallet, but he was carrying cash. He was last seen wearing a Pilot 21 hoodie along with a book bag, blue shoes, and blue shorts. If anyone has any information about his whereabouts or last seen or where he was last seen, please contact the Albany Police at 518-442-3130. So Brandon, what a tragedy. How do you feel about this?
I mean, this really scares me. To know that it's right a couple miles down from campus, it's eerie. It makes me think of the movie Taken, because you don't know what these people, like, what they're even doing with this guy. It's been a couple weeks. I mean, I'm hoping for the best. That's all you can do. I think he'll be found.
Yeah, I hope so. I really do.
Hopefully he'll be in good condition when they find him. In other news, Academy Award-winning actress Renee Zellweger underwent a major plastic surgery done to her eyes, which is causing a pretty big controversy throughout social media and other medias. Her whole entire eyelids she got her eyelids basically removed, in other words. She had extra skin on them, and now she basically completely transformed her face, and many people are responding to this, even people who you wouldn't expect. Iggy Azalea sent out a big tweet saying how wrong she thought it was, how people were reacting to it. I personally disagree with what she did. She completely altered her entire face, and it's the reason why it is touching so many people is because you think of Michael Jackson and then Renee Zellweger, who's a very pretty actress. I don't think she needed to do it. How do you feel about this, Crystal?
Honestly, I feel like she's teaching her fans that it is okay to alter your natural beauty. You shouldn't have to do that to yourself. I honestly agree with you that she was already beautiful, and for her to change her eyes, it just gives off to the younger children looking up to her that they should change everything about them too.
Yeah, it really, and she says it was for peace, which I did not mention. She says that it brought her peace in some way, and Dr. Oz actually mentioned that there's no technical way, there's no real way a surgery can help you feel good. There's no morphines it lets off. And I don't know, according to her, though, she's doing better. It's helping her cope with her depression.
Well, at least it's helping her cope with her depression in the end. Continuing on with other news reports on Ebola, here is our news correspondent, Alex Serensky.
Thanks, Crystal. So guys, as Crystal just described, Ebola is becoming a major epidemic in today's society. And the reason that Governor Cuomo is so involved is because Ebola has actually broken into the New York City area. A physician from Doctors Without Borders has recently returned from the epidemic in West Africa and has declared to have come down with the disease. Craig Spencer, of 33 years old, was taken to a New York City hospital Thursday morning displaying symptoms of Ebola. A preliminary test on Thursday confirmed that Spencer, who arrived back in New York from Guinea on October 17th, indeed has the disease. Federal officials from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention have sent a team to New York City to assist city and state officials in the response and will carry out a further test to confirm the result. Since his diagnosis, his fiancée and 2 other friends have since been quarantined until they are deemed safe to be around the public. Do not panic about Ebola entering New York, as New York State Governor Cuomo states. I know the word Ebola right now can spread fear just by the sound of the word, but Ebola is not an airborne illness. It is contracted when a person is extremely ill and symptomatic. Ebola spreads through bodily fluids. The virus lives in areas such as vomit, diarrhea, blood, and sweat. Therefore, the virus does not spread through casual contact of transportation or just simply walking on the street. In addition, Ebola patients cannot infect others until they are infected themselves. Doctors Without Borders is saying that self-quarantine of patients not exhibiting Ebola symptoms is not necessary, although some countries have banned travelers from the 3 main Ebola countries, Guinea, Libya, and Sierra Leone. And the U.S. has started health screening of travelers arriving from there. I'm Alex Strensky. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Alex. In other news, this Tuesday at the Javits Convention Center in Manhattan, health workers all over New York City came to view a demonstration on the precautions and protective gear that must be worn while treating an Ebola patient. Ebola patients are janitors, security guards, doctors, nurses, and other health workers must know how to treat this deadly virus. They question if they are suitably trained to even take care of this virus. So watching this demonstration really helped them to understand what had to be done. Mr. Cuomo believes that New York will be different from Dallas because New York has had more time to prepare for this deadly virus. New York State has designed 8 hospitals in New York City to take care of the Ebola disease. The governor assures that there is no necessity for anxiety because of the precautions that New York State has taken to take care of the Ebola virus.
A new study has showed that Americans taking fewest vacation days in over 4 decades. It has showed that U.S. workers forfeited $52.4 billion in time off benefits in 2013 and took less vacation time than any point in the past 4 decades. They say this is going on for several reasons. It's something called defense overworking. They work long hours and skip vacations to institute themselves from cutbacks. And it also has a lot to do with anxiety, afraid of being laid off, and afraid of having too much work when they're back. But a study has shown that it actually does not benefit you to take less days off. It actually is proven that the more days you take off, the more chance there is that you will be laid off. And there is more room for error, which makes sense, obviously. The more you do something, the more chance there is that something will go wrong. And also, it's very good for stress, anxiety, and all those other things to take time off and relax. But I personally feel, and I'm like this, I'm very routine, I'm OCD, I don't like missing class ever. I feel like nothing goes right when I do. And this is how these workers seem to feel. You just need to relax at the end of the day. I actually had a teacher in high school, my senior year. In 20 years, the guy missed 1 day of work. And honestly, he was a bizarre guy. So to think about someone who doesn't miss work, something's wrong. So you just got to relax. People, according to Joe Robinson, you need to just deal with your stress and on other levels instead of forcing yourself to do things and stay busy. Next, we're going to send it over to Ashlyn Bird with sports.
Thanks, guys. This week in sports news, the reform of the NBA draft process was unable to receive the needed 23 votes to change the process. The reform was an effort to stop teams from losing on purpose in order to get a higher bid in the lottery process. The new plan would have given the worst teams an equal amount of winning in the top pick. With the current system, the worst team has a 25% chance, and the next team has a slightly lower percent. The Kansas City Royals lost to the San Francisco Giants 7-1 in the World Series opener on Tuesday. On Wednesday night, the Royals showed the world that they still had it in them to win, and they won 7-2 against the Giants. The two teams are both 1-1 in the 7-game World Series. Tonight, they will play Game 3 in San Francisco. Ray Rice filed grievance against the Baltimore Ravens for terminating his contract. The former running back was first suspended after a video of him hitting his fiancée, now wife, in an elevator was brought to the media. If Rice wins the grievance, he can win $3 million. Well, that's all I have to say in sports news. I'm Ashlyn Bird, back to you.
I'm sure we've all heard the tragic rumors about Jay-Z and Beyoncé's potential breakup, but as of October 22nd, Jay-Z and Beyoncé announced that they would be renewing their wedding vows and have even been spotted house hunting in Paris. Although they have recently gone through some difficult times, they were able to put it past them and move on. Sadly, it is not so easy for other couples. Khloe Kardashian is still desperately trying to get ex-lover Lamar Odom to sign their divorce papers. While Khloe is ready to continue on with a new stage of her life without the professional basketball player, he is avoiding her at all costs in hope of a second chance. In other news, on October 18th, Zac Efron spent his 27th birthday in Amsterdam with his close friends Martin Garrix and Dylan Francis, and even his newly rumored girlfriend Sammy Myro. Efron tops off his amazing birthday at the Amsterdam Dance Event Festival, watching Garrix DJ. Talk about an exciting weekend. Just 2 days after Zach's birthday bash, Blake Lively was seen showing off her baby bump with hubby Ryan Reynolds at the charity event Angel Ball in New York City. Because of Lively's small amount of weight gain anywhere but her tummy, the rumors say that she must be having a baby boy. I think we can all agree that another Ryan Reynolds would definitely be a good thing in this world. Last but not least, rapper I Love McConan performed his new hit Tuesday at a club in NYC when a so-called jealous fan started throwing punches at him. He managed to slip away after provoking the rapper several times, but thankfully no one was injured. Sources in the club were able to identify him and ban him from the club for life. I'm Alex Sanchez. This has been your entertainment news. Back to you.
A hacking involving the popular app Snapchat left thousands of Snapchatters exposed. Online hackers have leaked thousands of Snapchat users' photos. The instant messaging app is popular for its speedy technique in allowing people to share pictures and videos, also known as snaps. The snaps are deleted 10 seconds or less after the snap is sent. Online users of SnapchatSave.com, which allowed them to secretly store the snaps, were affected by the hacking. Snapchat Save confessed its part in the hacking that involved thousands of stolen images leaked online. Snapchat has not been hacked, and these images do not originate from their database, Snapchat Saved said. In turn, the site was hacked due to the misconfiguration in their server, the anonymous website advisors admitted to. Snapchat Saved deleted its website as soon as their realization of their database was breached. How exactly does that make you feel, Brandon?
Honestly, this has been going on for years, though. Any picture you take is being seen somewhere, regardless. There are so many very smart people on the internet creeping through things, so I don't take any inappropriate pictures on there because I wouldn't want to see that online one day, type in my name. It's just common sense at this point. Look what happened with Jennifer Lawrence recently. It ruins, everyone sees, you can't hide anything at that point. It's very difficult. So
I definitely agree because there's just certain things you don't do. You don't take those pictures, especially as a celebrity. You wouldn't take those pictures at all. So
that's just really dumb.
I definitely agree.
I think soon there's going to be a really big leak, like the president or someone. I really do. I think it's going to get to that level. And at that point, it won't even matter. We should just go everywhere naked.
And also another thing, the Snapchat users, I forgot to include this. The Snapchat users had to actually download the app Snapchat Save to be affected. So if someone was to save the Snapchat,
I'll sum up this app quickly. There's an app online that automatically saves every single picture you get. And with Snapchat, if someone clips a picture, usually you get a notification. This app allows no notification. Every single snap, even if it's a second, the one you're receiving gets saved. So beware. Just because it says just because it doesn't say someone snapped your snap doesn't mean someone else doesn't have it. So just watch out. Be careful.
And now our U Albany News with Amanda Vitlow.
This week at UAlbany, professionals from State Farm Insurance work with undergraduate and graduate students in a series of workshops to help them pave the way for academic and professional excellence. The State Farm professionals present tips in career building, job searching, and beneficial ways to use social media that will lead you down the path of success. UAlbany students pick up on these techniques to achieve and launch their career goals. The State Farm professionals were not the only influential people to visit UAlbany in the past few weeks. Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist David Finkel attends UAlbany to promote his new book, Thank You for Your Service. This novel is about a group of former soldiers who are currently experiencing psychological trauma due to their experiences in combat overseas. Faculty and students gather in the science library to question Finkel about his writing process and his reporting experiences in Iraq during a time of war. Speaking of Iraq, not only have they undergone wartime issues over the past few months, they're now experiencing other problems. Several doctors from Iraq and Iran visit UAlbany to discuss health concerns that are occurring that they believe have to do with environmental issues. This seminar was given in our new business building on campus, in which their focus was primarily on children who are affected by these health concerns. Many students and faculty came out to show their support and their deepest condolences for the victims who reside in these countries.
In recent news, just a few days ago, the Secret Dominic Adensaya, who is 23 years old. He is said to be a man that lived in Bel Air, Maryland, and the Secret Service says Adensaya was unarmed, and at the time of his arrest, charges are still pending. Adensaya jumped over the fence and made it all the way to the front doors of the White House, but he was quickly taken down and tackled. They say they don't know why Adensaya did it. They think he might be on drugs or some sort of intoxicants. This has been an ongoing issue throughout the past few months. Many people have been trying to break into the White House. I personally don't understand how anyone gets over that fence. It is the president. It's the White House. So I really think that they need to learn how to take better precautions and somehow take care of this. They're still, like I just said, the charges are still pending. I'm sure he'll get a lot of time for this. I'm very worried that makes you really, knowing people are getting to the president's house. Like it's the same thing before with the Snapchat. Like, no one's safe. So we all need to just take proper precautions. Thanks for watching another episode of ATV360. I'm Brandon Berman.
And I'm Crystal Russell.
Have a great week, and we'll see you next time, guys.